welcome to Invictus Motors. I'm Ali and I'm here to talk you through this amazing Mercedes S63 AMG. So it's probably the best spec car I've ever come across. So let's dive into it. It's finished in the obsidian metallic black with the tinted windows and the matte finish 20-inch alloy wheels. It looks a bit murdered out, which gives it a really aggressive look, whilst it's also an incredibly comfortable car. So the car cost £126,000 new without options, and this has a very extensive list of options, so it probably sent the price close to £140,000. So let's talk about the design. So it's got a bit of an aggressive, but also got some subtle changes from the normal S-Class coupe. So for example, the front bonnet has got a few lines in it to signify that it's an AMG, and the headlights are adaptive cornering LED intelligent headlights with Swarovski crystals, and that I believe was a £3,000 option. So and it's also got high beam assist as well, the automatic, so it detects cars in front of it or vehicles coming in, so it will dip when it needs to. So in terms of the AMG styling, since this is an AMG, you get the front splitter at the front, you get the side skirts, and you get a little bit of a scoop in the rear, on the rear boot. And then coming around, what this looks like a logo, and it is a logo. However, it also has quite a bit of tech in it, and it's actually used as a radar control for the adaptive cruise control, which maintains a certain distance from the vehicle in front. Above it, you've got a camera. This has a 360-degree camera option, which gives you that up above view. The grille is finished in metallic black at the back, and then with the chrome surrounds, which I think sets it off quite nicely. We'll talk about the theme. I like that on this vehicle they've left the chrome on, especially if you come around the side. The strips around the windows are left, which I think is good because it kind of shows the shape of the vehicle quite nicely. Since this is a coupe, you want the lines to show. In terms of the alloys, as I said, they're 20-inch finished, a 10-spoke finish in matte black. The brake calipers, which are absolutely humongous, they're finished in red with the AMG lettering on. On the side, you got a little badge reminding you that it's something special under that bonnet, which we will talk about. The wing mirrors, they fold with a camera underneath it to help provide that 360-degree view. So coming around the back, we talked about the Coupe Shape, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then coming around the back, I like this design at the back because it hawks back to the Mercedes from the 90s, when they actually did, the build quality was very, very good. And it's also very good in this, but bear in mind it's a 140k car, so it has to be good, unlike your standard C classes and A classes. Anyways, back to this car. So you've got this classic looking rear light. So that's the classic finish. However, it's got LEDs within it, so it's got a modern tech as well. Again, badge at the back, but it also has a secondary function, so it lifts up, and that's where your rear camera is. The AMG badging, so rest assured it's not a fake AMG for once. You see plenty of marks driving around, and it gets on my nerves. Don't ask me why, but it's completely pointless because you can tell when it is fake. But anyways, I guess it's just an aspiration thing. So let's not knock them too hard. So further back down, it's got a classic, beautiful looking quad exhaust with the AMG lettering above it. And then you've got the diffuser, which is quite aggressive in the center. And you obviously got your parking sensors at the back as well. We're inside the S63 now, and two things come to mind straight away, and it is comfort and opulence, luxury. You know, you've got these AMG seats, which are pretty much like a sofa. I mean, the leather is very soft and supple, and they're incredibly comfortable, but at the same time, they've got lumbar support. And one of the things that I recently discovered about the seats is that they're the dynamic seats, which essentially means when you go around corners, they actually start hugging you. So essentially it gives you the feel of the seats that you may experience in sports cars like 911 or even bucket seats, because they literally grab the side of your waist to prevent you from being tossed from side to side in the car. And that's an incredible feature, because an issue I've always had. Cars are capable of going, you know, comfortable cars that go around the corner quite fast, but unfortunately you're in the passenger seat and you're still trying to hold the steering wheel. So you don't want to be sliding around in the car. And it's the first time I've ever come across seats such as that, the dynamic seats. And then moving on to sort of the driving position, very, very good driving position. You've got a good view of the bonnet. You can see right to the end. You've got fantastic visibility, especially with the panoramic roof, because what that does is allow extra light in, so it makes it feel very, very roomy. You've got the digital display with loads of functions, and then you've got a massive screen for your media and sat-nav. Some of the comforts on the inside, which you know, is part of the very extensive. I'm just laughing because the seats are actually just grabbing me as I go around this corner. So part of the extensive option list in this car are the 360 degree cameras, which are fantastic if you're going through bollards, if you're parking. Comes in really, really handy. And it's also got lane control. And you can adjust the feel of the steering wheel as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. The other big ticket option on this car is the Burmeister Sound system, and it sounds so good. I mean, the sound is incredible, and that is, I think, a £5,300 option. So bear in mind, this car costs $126,000 without options. You know, for somebody spending additional 5K wasn't going to break their bank. And then, you know, as you look around, you know, this is top of the range Mercedes. So the finish and the build quality is absolutely second to none. You've got leather everywhere, and they're almost different texture of leather as well. So the leather that you get on the dash is slightly grainy. And then around the seats, not that seats, but the back of the seats is very soft and supple. You've got the AMG Performance steering wheel, which has a really, really good feel. And there's chrome everywhere in this car, which again, you know, if you're paying £126,000, you would expect that level of quality. But the most interesting feature of this car for me, again, it's a function as well as the dynamic seats that I haven't come across previously, is this magic panoramic roof, or I think it's called magic control. And what it essentially does is, it's actually, you can adjust the tint of the glass. So there's a button here, so as you press it, it will either get darker, so it would go dark blue to then very, very light. So right now it's gone a bit dark blue, as you may be able to tell in the video. And then if you want more light coming in, you just press it again and it gets lighter. So as you may notice, you see a bit more light within the cabin. So just a few more bits and pieces about the seats. The seats are also massaging as well. So you can adjust your lumbar. You've got all the functions that you could possibly want in a seat. I mean, if it's got dynamic seats that literally grab you as you go around a corner, you can imagine it has everything else. It's got the massage function as well for the passenger and the driver, which is quite cool. This is how I'll sum up the interior of this car. When you arrive at your destination, you actually don't mind sitting around in the car for a bit longer. And I don't think I've driven many cars, performance, luxury, and no car's given me that feeling before. So I'm a fan of Range Rover Sports, and they're quite comfortable, but they've never given me that feeling. So yeah, I don't know, there's something about this car. It's just it has a very, very homely feel, incredibly comfortable. So one of the striking things about this car is that its option list is absolutely bonkers. So somebody was feeling trigger happy in the showroom, or they were probably served very, very good coffee with something else on top, because he just went crazy, or she, and ticked anything and everything. So some of the most expensive options on it are the So this particular S63 has a full Mercedes service history, so it's been well looked after. It's got 2 previous owners, and it's in phenomenal condition. So if you like this review, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.